Hey guys, ZombieX here. I haven't done a video in quite a while for you guys. I know I promised a Q701, but right now it's been a little hectic. I'm in the process of moving, so I'm going to a new house. We've been doing work over there. So I'm sorry about the little delay, but today I'm back with the Quincy Jones K701 model called the Q701. Before I talk about these, I'm going to talk about some of the previous models. There is the K501 here, and then I have the K601 over here. The K601 is, it's going to be, what's the best way to describe it? It's like a K701, but not as detailed, and it seems much warmer. And also, I know a lot of people say it's leaner on the base, but I don't really think it is. Mine seems to be pretty full-bodied. But, I mean, they're not basing any means, they're pretty light, but it's just like, they're not, it's not like it has no base, it has plenty to it in my opinion, plenty for rock and most metal. Certainly nothing for rap, it's too light. Mid-range is pretty full. Treble's pretty good, it seems to roll up though on the higher frequencies, and the soundstage is probably one of the biggest points of this headphone. It's pretty wide. Just a little brief recap on those. I know I talked about these previously. K501s, they sound closer to the K701 than the K601 does. This is going to be a brighter headphone. Mid-range is still pretty full, maybe a little bit leaner sounding. Soundstage is actually bigger than the K701, Q701, and K702 in my opinion. Are these as detailed? Not really. But they're still very good for, I think it came out in the mid-90s. They're still pretty good headphones. But Q701 is more like, it's not an evolution of the K701, it's going to be like a sidestep. It's just a different flavor. As far as sound signature, it sounds like a K701 and K702. There's not really much difference. I know people on Headfi say it's warmer sounding and has more bass, but to me, there's really no difference between them. K701 has always been a brighter headphone with leaner mids and leaner bass. This retains that signature. It's basically the same headphone, where I would say the treble is fairly detailed and extends up there, but the highest frequencies seem to roll off. The mid-range is going to be fuller than the 501 here, but it's going to not be the same as the K601. This is going to be like a middle ground between those two, but the detail in the mid-range is much better. As for bass, it does have more bass than either model, but I feel like it's not as well controlled as the 501. Despite this being such an old headphone, it still has very good control in the bass. They both all seem to extend fairly deep. Q701 seems to roll off a little bit more earlier, but that's a characteristic with all the AKGs that I've tried, at least of like the 601 and the 701 line. And I have heard a K612, and those sound exactly the same as a K601. So if you can find a K601 cheaper than a K612, just go for it. I feel for $200 that the K612 is too expensive. It's a very good headphone, but I think that's a little too much for what they are. The K601, if you look around, you could find it for $100. That's how much I got mine for, so I'd recommend that. But the Q701, price-wise, I know a lot of places still sell it for over $400. My dad purchased this one for $200 on Amazon, which I thought was a really good deal for it. I've always been a big fan of the K701 in that, but I ended up selling mine because I needed the money, and I found better headphones down the way. Like I've also had an HD600, which I felt was superior. Not in terms of its technical abilities, it's more of the sound signature preference to it, where the HD600 is a warmer headphone. It's gonna have more bass, but at the same time, I feel like all of these headphones have been surpassed down the road. Like, I don't find any of them to be worth their full price anymore. Like, the HD600 is just a HD580, which is an old headphone. HD580s can be had for under 100 used now. I think I saw one for like $90 on HeadFi like a month back or so, which is ludicrous low. And the drivers, I think, $30 a piece. I think it's like $40 for HD650 drivers, so you could buy a 580 for like $80, and then buy 650 drivers thrown in there, then you have an HD650. So, yeah, but this guy, I know I'm not talking about much, I'm talking about other headphones. This guy, I feel for the 200, he's definitely worth it. Just for the colors alone, I love the black. It's better than like that royal blue that the 702 had. I don't like the cable much. I'm actually going to make a new cable with some Ogami, probably down the road. Yeah. But I know a lot of people on HeadFi too, they have these and they want to use them for gaming. I did make an adapter for them to be used for gaming. I'm in the process of testing that, but I'll put the HeadFi link down below so you can check it out. But the little adapter is a little XLR adapter that clips in here, and it's about like up to here. And then you can put like a Boom Pro microphone by V-Moda on there, and the connection is so tight that the mic won't swing around. It's the adapter is just a solid chunk of plastic with at 1/8 female jack hardwired into the XLR. So it's only about like that big, and it goes right now. You can use a Boom Pro on it. And that also opens up the possibilities of using different cable types. Like, let's say you had like cables from like AOL Audio, like really good cables, but you didn't want to buy a new one for the 702s or Q701s. You could just put the adapter on there and you can use any cable you want. But now I'm veering off topic. Soundstage on these is pretty good, but I feel they're good headphones. They're good for most music, nothing really bass heavy. I'd say these are more for like classical music, just for sound signature alone, because it's a bit leaner. The classical is already going to be a little bit warmer anyway, so that's going to help with the headphones, I guess. Amping wise, I know in the past I've all stated that they're pretty hard to amp, and I still say that they are more difficult than most headphones, but you don't need $1 million amp for these. The shit Magni amp, which is only $100, has more than enough power for these. Like, more than enough. And you don't have to spend a lot. Like, I know my headphone amps are like in the $1,000 range, but you don't need that much if you want to drive it good. Like, a lot of people use the FIO E9, I think it was called, for this, which is just a bad match in general. That's meant for higher impedance headphones. I also felt it made this headphone sound bloated. If you're looking to warm up the signature, you can get like a little Hi-Fi Man. I think it's the EF2, which is a tube headphone amp. It has adequate power. Should be able to do good with these, but it's not going to have like oomph behind it like some of the better amps will. But that's really all I'm going to talk about with these. Like I said, I think they're good for $200, so jump on them on Amazon before they jump back right up. And the Music Direct has them for like $450 right now, which is ludicrous. Same thing goes for like the HD650, and those are all 400 range, which is crazy because the performance has long since been passed up by other headphones. Like, I feel like new T70 just stomps all of these together. But that one's like a $400 headphone as well, but for the price, I'd recommend that. But I veered way too much off topic for this video, guys. I'm going to say this is it. I don't know when the next video will be, because I'm moving. I'm going to try. I'm still waiting on Philips to get back to me about the L2. They said they were going to send me one, but it's been like a month now and I haven't heard anything back from them. So I might email them again. So until next video, guys,